with Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, coming out in just a few weeks here, I decided I want to review Daffy Duck Quackbusters. Let's talk about this movie. So, this is an interesting movie because it's not really a movie. It is, but it isn't. Essentially, back in the 70s, I think it was. I think there was one in the late 70s. Most of these came out in the 80s. Basically, Looney Tunes would take compilations of their shorts and put those in theaters. But what they would do that's really unique is they would animate new segments to make it a movie. So they basically would take a theme or an idea and wrap those around together to make a movie. So there's a Bugs Bunny one where he's kind of narrating the thing, introducing them, and that's like one of the ones that exist. There's a couple other ones like that. There's a Fantastic Island parody one. This one is the wraparound segment is that they're paranormal investigators, which I think is a smart idea as a wraparound segment. Because out of all the wraparound segments they did with these movies, it makes a lot of sense in the sense that it actually makes it feel like more of a cohesive movie. It has more of a plot to it. Though at the end of the day, majority of the reason you watch these is if you really like Looney Tunes and just want to see some great shorts in theaters. Which, these were amazing shorts that used to air before movies, before they ended up running on television back in the 80s, 70s, as the television became more of a thing that everybody had in their households. And so, that kind of experience of, wow, I go to the theater and I get a cool Looney Tunes short was not really a thing. So they had to kind of make them into movies to kind of make that work again. And it worked for a while. This ended up being the last one, I believe. And you can tell why. This is one of the worst ones. Not because it's bad. A lot of the shorts in it are fantastic. Like, there's some of the greatest Looney Tunes shorts still here. There's quite a few great ones in here. But the problem with this movie is all the wraparound segments are pretty bad. First of all, the animation looks good enough, but it kind of felt like a downgrade, especially compared to the other Looney Tunes compilation movies. This one felt a little more rushed out animation-wise. I'm not exactly sure if it was, but it kind of felt that way. I think this one actually has the most new animation in it, by the way, compared to the other ones. Something to note there. And then the other thing that really hurts this movie is Mel Blanc, who voiced majority of the Looney Tunes characters, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, I believe Tweety, was dying. And he was very old. And you could tell that in this movie. He does not sound the same. I mean, Porky Pig and Daffy Duck don't sound too distinct from each other in this movie. They sound very similar because you can just see the cracks in Mel Blanc's voice. And so it makes it very distracting when you're going through this as a movie and you're seeing a short from the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, or whenever these shorts came out. And then you're jumping to new segments that were animated in the 80s, and the voices don't sound the same, even though they're the same guy. It's very strange, and it's very unfortunate. I don't blame anybody involved with this movie for that, but it was it was just showing the times of, hey, Mel Blanc isn't going to be with us forever, and unfortunately we got to let him go. Yeah, and then I also think the paranormal storyline was kind of cool with them being paranormal investigators, but they don't actually do much investigating in a weird way. And most of it has to do with, Daffy and this money situation and all that stuff, and you're like, okay, that's kind of a thing, but it just makes the movie just kind of not that interesting. It has a pretty funny ending to it, and I think overall it works. But it is still pretty flawed at the end of the day. I don't think it's a bad movie. I'm actually really appreciative that Warner Archive put this on Blu-ray. Never been on Blu-ray before. Highly recommend this release. It's got lots of great shorts on here. And it's got two different versions of the movie, which I haven't watched the other version. I just went with the theatrical version just because, you know, I just want to watch it quickly so I can review it for you guys and have this video out in time before the new Looney Tunes movie comes out. Next week I'll be talking about Snow White, because apparently we're getting a remake of that still. Someone doesn't like us. Someone was really mad at us.